Hey everybody, Adam Savage here in my cave with a really fun one-day build. Recently here in the United States, on Earth, it was Halloween. Halloween came and went recently. And this is how my partner and I decided to celebrate Halloween. Yeah. This Wookiee suit that I wear from time to time is one of my all-time favorite costumes. It is a mix and a mishmash of a whole bunch of different pieces. The main body and feet were made by Mark Putenis of New England Wookiee Works. At least that's what he was calling himself 12 some odd years ago when I first commissioned this suit. The hair on the bodysuit is latch hooked onto netting, which means it's actually a very breathable, lightweight suit. The mask is an incomparable masterpiece made by Tom Spina that includes the original Stuart Freeborn designed mechanics that allows Chewie's lip to curl. There is not a more accurate Chewbacca mask in the world, than the ones that Tom makes. I think his are better than Lucasfilm's in the sequels. Yeah, I'll say it. But as an avid cosplayer, I have a collection of costumes, and I occasionally bring old costumes out and rewear them. That's what happened on Halloween, and it happens occasionally. And this is also one of the intersections in revisiting costumes that can happen, because I wore that Chewie suit and I had an issue with the wearing of it. And the issue is that I'm older now and I'm more fragile than I used to be. And when I wear the Wookiee Feet, these are Mark Putenis' beautiful Chewbacca feet. These are great. These are beautiful looking and they work really well with the suit. But this is merely a sneaker that is glued to a bunch of pink Dow foam and carved and sculpted and covered in nothing less than Gorilla Tape. Yeah, seriously. And then hot glued with the hair on top. It's Kanekalon hair, so it's about 25 cents worth of hair. I have the correct color of hair, and I'm gonna remake these feet. Here's the reason these are tough. These are basically what you call the kiss boot design, the super long sole. What is that? That's like 7 inches of extra height. Along with the top of Chewie's head, I end up getting to 7 feet, which I know isn't canon, but it's close enough for me and I don't want to wear stilts. But the issue with these is my ankles are visible here. There's no ankle support, none whatsoever. And so in my fragile engine, if I accidentally took a twisted ankle in this, I could be out for a couple of weeks. I'm trying to make sure I last. That's our goal, right? I just would like to last and not injure myself in dumb ways. So consequently, I am going to rebuild these boots and give them some ankle support. I may be actually taking them apart because I love these Wookiee toes, and I think I can salvage them. I'm pretty sure I can salvage them. They're good little Wookiee toes, and I may actually give them a little extra color. Anything that I'm missing? Yes, the construction will be pretty straightforward, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to use at least one tool you haven't seen before, and for the boots, I'm going with the awesome ankle support. I have these snowboard boots, and I had actually bought these as part of a space stealth suit that I've been working on, but I'm months away from even starting that one. So I can utilize these bad boys. They'll tighten up nicely. They'll hold my ankles in the great orientation and hopefully be a more injury-free way of trooping around. That's the other thing is, because of all this weight, I get terrible blisters from these, even with really nice gel orthotics inside the sneakers. This should also aid and abet the elimination of that property. Okay, let's get started. Now, normally I don't love taking apart an old bit of costume in order to make a new bit of costume, but in this case, I think I have to do it. I gotta say, Mark's work on this costume was really awesome. Oh yeah, it's starting to peel up. That's I might be able to reuse this hair. I wonder if I can peel it off monolithically. Ooh, I might actually be able to. Huh. All right, so I'm going to go for a total dismantling of these. I'm going to get rid of there, yeah. I'm going to go for a complete dismantling of these and see what I can salvage. Hopefully the toes, that's the biggest goal, but I may be able to salvage a bunch of the hair, which, to be honest, I'd rather salvage this. One of the great things about a Chewbacca costume is the rattier it gets, the better it looks. So there's no amount of kind of abuse. I store this costume all crumpled up, and every time I pull it out, it looks better. If you look at this picture of me at Dragon Con, I think in 2008 or so, you'll see that's the first wearing of my Chewbacca costume. How smooth the hair is, and look how much now that's not the Tom Spina mask I'm wearing with that. That's Mark Butenis's, and it's a terrific mask. It really had a great gesture to it. It was an impressive bit of work for... Are these shoelaces built into the sneakers? What the hey? Okay. These guys have... I made these little cheaters to hide the shoelaces because I was seeing glimpses of them. The hair color difference it actually really works with the way the legs blend here. And this is just fur left over from my bear costume. I think I sprayed a little bit of black on there just to kind of tone it down. Okay. Yeah. Well, that actually worked a treat. What had happened was I was able to pull off all the hair off both shoes because they were hot glued on, and man, that has lasted for 12 years. That's a pretty freaking good record. And I know it's not like the most beautiful hair job, but I love what it looks like on the costume, and I'd rather not change it or reinvent the wheel. So that saves me a good couple of hours out of this build. So now the question is, can I get these toes off? And that's non-trivial because the way the tape has grabbed the latex, well, it has grabbed it with an alacrity I find surprising. However, I think I can follow along the edge here. Ooh. Oh. Oh. No. Ay, ay, ay. This is See, if I cut it off past the tape, then I run the risk of not having enough room to actually, ay, ay, ay. A little bit of padding in there. Okay. Okay, this is actually working. Oh, I see. He's got some this is nice. This is also how I will look. I don't see any reason to change what was done before on these shoes, so I'm going to follow their entire structural mandate here. Yeah. So what I've got is some very nice EVA soles, and I have some good, come on. There we go. Yeah, there's one foot, and I can see that there is a wooden spar here in the middle for strength, which is great. That's a funny looking boot, man. It'll be fun to make a second one. Today's pop music, I'm listening to lots of Maroon 5. Their lyrics are nonsensical, but damn do I love Adam Levine's voice. This kind of cutting, by the way, this kind of cutting through foam and tape and wood and other stuff is exactly where you can get into real trouble with the X-Acto knife, because you can be like, boink! And it's just, I'm just gonna take a moment to tell you to go slowly and be safe about how you're using the blades in your life. Okay, so, yep. There it is. Yes. Okay, so we have the toes. And are they not? Oh, I thought the toes were busted in a specific location, but it actually looks like these latex, it looks like these poured latex toes have actually survived 12 years with nary a real difficulty. Nicely done. Okay, so, old Wookiee boots. You know what? I should probably do that again with the real boots once I'm finished with them, because that'll be funny. Okay. Old Wookiee boots. Oh, I'm going to need you for a form factor. Yeah, because we got this nice big, he really did a nice shaping on these. They feel like feet when you see them. So I'm going to really copy these almost exactly. Here's what I need. We've got some of this. This is your basic black cosplay EVA floor mat foam. And that's exactly what was used to make the soles here. These soles are precisely this type of foam. You can see the pattern there. Yep. Okay, so that's the soles of the feet. And then this, you'll recognize, this is Foamulon. This is Dow Pink expanded styrene foam. And it's what I use to build the safe. So let me go get my stash of that. There we go. That should be enough, plenty for a couple of Wookiee boots. Now how am I going to cut that foam? Ooh! It's time for a new piece of equipment. Oh, it is really dusty because I haven't used it in a while. But it's time for my Proxxon foam cutter. Yes, baby! Alright, I seriously need to clean this off. You don't want a lot of dust around something that has a heating element, because that should just... Do I need to explain why? I don't think I do. Okay, so... Excellent. Put it under a slight bit of tension, secure it, lock it down, and I gotta make sure it's straight on the up and up. It's just a little tall. Damn! I gotta say, I'm within a degree. Foam cutters, hot wire foam cutters are freaking amazing. I don't use them a lot. I know, I haven't used them a lot here, and it's because, frankly, it's not one of the ways in which I think. How do I explain this? Look, one of the things about a technology is you only utilize a new technology if it incorporates itself into the problem solving that you do. We're trying to get a water cutter up and running here, a desktop water cutter. And one of the engineers at Boston Dynamics told me, said, you know, there'll be a point with water cutting where you start to see the whole world as stacks of water cut aluminum and TIG welding. And he's describing a very specific maker kind of moment, where an engineer moment where you absorb a new technology and it changes the way you think, or it accentuates the way you already thought. So, for example, when I first learned about the laser cutter from Don Bees, when I got to Industrial Light and Magic in '98, it dovetailed beautifully with this part of my brain that had built a whole bunch of paper models back in my teens. That's how I got my start as a maker, making these architectural models out of paper books. And the laser cutter worked exactly the same way as my brain had parsed the paper bookmaking. So with regards to the foam wire cutter, when I'm thinking about objects and making large shapes, I still don't think of wire cut foam as one of the ways to achieve those shapes. And that's my deficit. Like, I have to kind of build my brain into accepting that as a potential depending upon the need that I have. Yeah. So this is part of me trying to bring the wire cutter into my practice. I am going to make sure it is off. Yep. Circuit's open. Plug it in. Hang on. I'm just going to grab a scrap piece here. So we're going to turn this on. I'm going to turn on the wire. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I think I can move a little faster if I turn it up. Let's just see if that is square. For all intents and purposes, perfectly square. So, yeah, I think you want to see a close-up of this. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, right? So many possibilities. So many possibilities, so little time. Yeah. Oops. Okay. Hopefully now you understand some of the magic that can exist because of a device like this. So I'm going to start cutting out layers, I think. Get a little bit farther back on this equation. There. And hey, you can see me. Awesome. This is the right boot. It doesn't look like there's anything really specific about that. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna cut out 4 layers of that. This, I'm gonna just slice up on the bandsaw. Now, there's my lefts and my rights, but if I'd had my druthers, so this is left. This is left. L. So, I think I want to take a little bit off. It's a little overly bulbous there. Now, so I want to label those. Yeah, I know. If I'd had my druthers, I cut them all exactly the same. If I'd had my druthers, I would have flipped half, but it really doesn't matter because it's all getting covered with tape. Just no biggie. That's gonna go on there. Yep. Okay, toes. The toes have it. Now I need to cut out some blocks of foam. It's actually, right, I'm gonna have to, the heel is at 8 inches, but then, right, so that's what I'm really gonna need to measure from. And it's exactly 8 inches. Okay, 8 inches to the heel. He pointed the sneakers down a little bit for some comfort. Obviously I can't do that with these. They've got to sit upright. So what I need is 7 1/4 inches of this stuff. Yeah. And I think I'm going to go with, let's see here. Yeah. This might be a great template. And it is! Okay, so I'm going to cut all the foam out according to this template. And I'm going to use this template on the foam cutter. So I like to label everything. Savage Wookiee foot cutting template to the bandsaw. So, yeah, template. How do we use a template? Well, I'm going to show you. Let's see here. What does this say? This says for 50 millimeter, that's 2 inches. Level 5. All right, I'm going to go to level 5. And I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to cut out some chunks on the table saw just so I have them at the right orientation. Please remember that repetitive work on the table saw, as I like to remind everybody, is where you can get into real trouble. It's where you can zone out and you want to just... I maintain a presence of mind while using the table saw. Sorry about that light over there. I maintain a presence of mind using the table saw in which every single time I'm about to feed, I think, where are both my hands? What would happen in a kickback? Where are my feet? Is my center of gravity over my feet? Etc., etc., etc. Every single time, I just, the moment you let your guard down, that's where you're going to get hit. Oh, there we go. Bye. Hey. There we go. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is 2 Wookiee feet in potentia. Yeah. For some reason, that always kind of thrills me. So, I'm going to be doing a bunch of cutting on the template. And I'll be doing 2 layers per template, and let's see how this goes. I have never tried this. I know this is how this is supposed to work, but let us see. I have a lot of room to move here because the template I've chosen is the size of the outside dimensions of the foot. So everything I'll be doing is carving into that. So I have some room to screw up. Oh. And I'm trying not to touch the template with the wire. I haven't smoothed it out. I mean, I suppose if you wanted to use a polished aluminum template, that would be a way. Because right now I can see that the pieces of wood want to catch. Whoa. What was the issue there? Maybe I was getting a little too... We are learning about foam cutting as we are using the foam cutter. That's how this goes. Oh, I know what's happening. Going through a label. Yep. Note to self, make sure there are no labels where I'm going to be cutting. I bet some of you foam veterans out there saw that one. Adam, you're yelling at the screen. You've got a label. I'm sure of it. Oh yeah. All of a sudden, everything is easy. Now I've got 15 pieces to cut out. And one of them, once I cut it out, I'm going to slice it in half because it will be, hey, come on. I'm getting caught behind splinters. This is not the neatest job. But I don't think anyone would accuse me of being the neatest maker. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Hey. I am going to take this template and smooth it out on the 3M Scotch-Brite belt when I'm done with this. And then, yeah. First 2 templates are away. All right. Wow. That is that. This guy away. Now that is a pair. Oh, yep. That right there is a pair of Wookiee feet. Oh, I need to cut that one in half. I wonder if this will work. Let's try this. I need to cut this piece in half this way. And it's too tall for my bandsaw. But I find myself wondering, yeah. Easier said than done. This is, look, this is a learning experience. I'm very pleased with how this is going. But you got to be careful of your hands, because you don't want, yeah. There we go. Now, technically, those are our Wookiee feet. Yeah. How about that? That looks great. Now, I want to see how tall I am at the heel. Just right about exactly where I want to be. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so, yep. The height of the heel is precisely the same. That means all the hair should work, and my feet should fit. And it should feel the same to me to walk in. And that's really important, that it feels the same to me. Yeah, I don't want to get too high. This height works for me. I'm nice and large. Okay, so now the question is to engineer the inside of the boot so it supports me. And I think we're going to do that fin. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, the toe's going to be, that's one of the issues about the toes pointing down. Right, I have determined that I can survive like about a 1 inch lift on the heel. Sends my feet a little bit down. It should allow me to do some shaping. I want to take a look at these inserts, because I don't understand snowboard boots very well. Yeah, okay. Cool. So now I think it's time to do some gluing, to glue up these guys. And it's just going to be a bunch of spray adhesive. So get some brown paper down here. All right. This foam is going to be undergoing a lot of abuse. What Mark Putenis did back when he built my original pair of boots is he included up here a fin of Luan that went all the way through the center of this piece and provided a huge amount of this kind of strength to keep it from wearing like that. It doesn't add too much to the weight. I've cut a new pair of Luan templates, not even templates. They'll go in here, and just like the old ones, they'll give me a little bit of a drop on the front of the toe, allow me to do some blending of the Wookiee foot here. The toes will go out on the end of this part like that. So I'm going to do some gluing in some stages, and then I'm going to slice the feet in half and join them. Yeah. Got some Pro Stick 65 for foam, laminate, trims, wood, metal, carpet lining, plastic lettering, and insulation. It should be perfect for this. So those go away for a little while. These feet, oh, they get stuck together. Like that, right? Yeah. Let me get a meth mask. If your mask isn't comfortable, you're not going to wear it. Oh, so much better. Okay, here we go. Oh, hey, that's enough. Okay.
Careful, this stuff is super sticky. You want to be very careful about it. Okay. I'm going to put these away for now. Now, we've got this business. Yeah, that's how I want to do that. Is that how I want to do that? No, it's not. It's actually, that's how I want to do that.
One of the nice aspects of the spray glues that do the foams is they have a particular nozzle that really limits overspray in a way that's terrific.
Is that eating into it? It is eating into it just a little bit. Hopefully it's not too much.
So while the wet spray glue does dissolve the foam a little bit, I'm going with a light touch and it's giving me the tackiness I need. It's holding these pieces in orientation to each other. And remember, later, I'm going to wrap this whole thing in Gorilla Tape, so I'm not that concerned about the stiction.
Nice. Nice.
All right, now it's time. Those are going to be our boots, but now it's time for me to slice these in half this way so I can glue in the wooden feet supports. But that's the reason I did this in 2 layers. That's the deepest distance my bandsaw can take. Okay, so, right, there's that business. Yep. And that business. So that goes like that. Boink. Yep. Okay. Cool. Okay, ladies and germs. When I'm doing the drying, I am trying to dry the glue, but I am also attempting to flash off the solvent that can cause cause the solvent is what melts the it's what melts the foam. And once it flashes off, it doesn't want to melt the foam anymore. Great. That's the left foot. I'm making sure that the inside line is nice and straight because this is what I'm going to be gluing to the wood, to the Luan. Left and right and that's where that will go. All right. Okay, so that's the top. And that's the top. It's held together nicely. So here's what I need to do. I need some cutout drawing here. Yeah, that's it. That's how that works. So wait. Yep. So here's what we're gonna do. Yeah. Now then, I'm going to cut these 4 shapes on the bandsaw again. We're rapidly getting there. This is kind of going great. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these. I want to stand on these just to see how they feel to stand in. Just in case I want to adjust this angle or I feel like I can adjust it, I am going to try it out. Okay, moment of truth. Yep, that feels great. Yeah, I dig that. I dig it. Yeah, all right. Okay, I still don't need these, but I do need these. So now we're doing that business. I'm going to trim just a little bit off the front and the back of this thing because I don't want it sticking out. I'm just going to take a 1/4 inch off. Hey, this is interesting. Remember how last week I showed you how to draw straight lines? You can draw perfectly also parallel contour lines in the same way. So that's a nice contour line that follows the contour pretty exactly. You're going to do the same thing over here, and the same way I did it on the other build I was showing you, I make my fingers into a kind of a reliable backstop. Bingo. Here comes another one. Just one finger is all that's required if you're being careful. All right, I'm just gonna trim those on the bandsaw. Here, you can watch. There we go. I'm sorry. I forgot to put on my breath mask. With the foam adhesive, because it sprays so uniformly, it's mostly VOCs that are in the air, just that smell of solvent, but the glue itself doesn't aerosolize nearly as much as Spray 77, but I should be wearing my respirator. I'm sorry about that. Great. Now it's time for the sculpting, and this will be, oh, right, no, now I got to put the soles of the feet on. I don't know why I need to keep it bilaterally symmetrical like that, but I do.
Yep.
It's about to get messy.
Not enough strength. I guess I could just hold on to it this way. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, there we go. That is pretty darn good. Pretty close. Yep, okay. So, I'd say that's almost one finished. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I have any. Oh, you know what?
all this purple dust. It's like I'm sweeping up Thanos. Just an interim clean to well, interim cleans are really good to do, and I don't do them frankly often enough. But I've got here a pair of preliminary Wookiee feet. Pretty pleased with how they look. I'm not sure what actually happened there. I was recording, I was talking to the camera, and then the recording went away, and I wasn't talking to the camera. But I glued one of the boots down. I did a bunch of glue on its sole and stuck it down to this, and then I glued one side and then let that sit and glued the other side and let the glue pour down into there. I've gone from the foam all the way up the boot to try and grab some of the fabric here, some of the different topologies of the co-materials that the boot's made of. All that should give me a bunch more extra strength. There's no space underneath this boot for a pivot to build. So hopefully this will actually keep it from doing that. I might drive a couple of long drywall screws just down into the heel all the way in. That'll help with a little bit of this business. Not much, but it'll give a little bit. So I'm going to do the other boot, I guess. And here we go. Actually, I'm going to heat this up. Okay. That should help. Oh, that should help me get the glue on before it sets too quickly. Okay. It also doesn't heat up that fast. Come on. Okay, put that on there. Yeah, there we go. And work it. Yeah, great. And now it's going to work to fill it in. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. While we're letting that sit, I'll do some more strengthening on this guy. I like doing leapfrogging operations like this. Like solidify one thing while the other is setting. Again, I'm reaching down to grab more of the foam if I can. I don't want to add too much texture to the foam, but the more the glue is like creating this sort of monolithic grabber, the better its hold will be. Grabber. I don't mean to use such technical terminology with y'all. All right. Just gonna let it pour down in there. Ooh. Forearm's getting the grip. It's getting tired. My two favorite brands of duct tape are Nashua. They were our contributors on Mythbusters. They gave us all those cases of duct tape. Still got a couple cases upstairs. And Gorilla Tape. This stuff is, as advertised, tenacious AF. And it's never letting go, man. It's just the real deal. Ooh, ooh. I'm like a Wookiee farrier. That made me laugh. Right, turn it over. Let's get some, again, I'm putting it on super hot so it goes all the way down into there and fills the little gaps I might have left. The nice thing about gluing onto foam like this is the foam insulates the hot glue and keeps it warm, so it does tend to actually run a little bit more than in normal circumstances because of the insulating properties of the foam, which is literally the reason it was built. So I'm going to let that hot glue run down there. Oh. Happy when I'm done using this gun today. That's for sure. And none of these things I'm doing in and of themselves is like a super robust engineering solution, but the aggregate of all of them should be plenty for me to be able to walk in these Wookiee boots. I can see right now that I want to smooth that a little bit, so I'm going to grab my rasp. You know, you're trying to look at a sculpt like this and see what works. Just keep on turning it around, and every time something doesn't quite work for you, shape it until it works. It's like sanding is basically sanding down the high spots until everything is even. Visually, I'm doing the same thing as I'm doing physically. I'm looking for those areas that beg for some modification. Good. That's nice. Every now and then I have this moment where it kind of sinks into me how absurd what I do for a living is. And right now I'm experiencing that while looking at these beautiful objects. Yeah. All right. They're as smooth as they need to be because they're all going to get covered with hair. But first, they're going to get, before the toes, they get the Gorilla Tape. And here is where we really add the strength that we need to this. I'm going to wait till my compressor charges, blow these off so I have a nice clean surface, and then I'm going to start layering in the Gorilla Tape. I don't want to stand in these just yet, because right now the only thing holding these boots on here is hot glue, and it's doing a really good job. I mean, if you had to pull this off of here, you would not be a happy camper. That's a big pain in the butt. However, I'm about to add way more strength here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. Write this down. Wish I didn't have the double wide, but I do. So we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna tear it up the middle. I'm trying to keep it from sticking to itself. I'm actually gonna stick it right here on the camera's tripod. Now, this really is where I'm adding all the necessary strength. It's going to be, actually, here, let's do this. We'll do. Okay, so first place we need strength is in the toe. You're going to be heel toeing. You don't want that toe to move. You don't want it to separate. And here I'm about to make the toe and the boot one. Now that is strength. I have created a unbroken loop of Gorilla Tape around the toe through the bottom. I'm going to do the same thing on the heel, and I'm going to compress those. I'm going to use another couple of layers of tape to do the toe again in a slightly different angle, and I'm going to do the heel as well, and then I'm going to cover the whole thing with Gorilla Tape. That again, this does not want to move this way because the Gorilla Tape does not stretch that much and it's holding the whole thing together. It's holding it this way, it's holding it this way. It's great. And with two loops like this, going one around here as well, like that. Between that and the hot glue, I am confident I get another, I got 13 some odd years out of the first pair of boots. Definitely I'll get at least as much out of these. I'm just gonna keep on sticking it to the camera. Stick it to the camera. One more each. That one's not too exciting, so that'll be fine. Well, that was a whole roll of Gorilla Tape. So now I'm just going through and just making sure the tape is stuck down everywhere. You can't overdo this step. This is like mixing silicone rubber when you're casting it. You can't mix too much. I mean, if you take so long it sets, sure, but Besides that, everything short of that is just a bonus. Okay. But what I now have is a really nice model of these Chewie boots. I'm going to try them out before I glue the toes on. If there's anything wrong with them, now is the time for me to figure that out. Let me give you a better viewpoint on this. Okay. Woo! Moment of truth. Oh man. Yeah, okay, so, connect that to that and tighten that down. Great. Oh, yes! They feel good. I can jump. I can kick my heels. Plus, I got all the ankle support I could ever want out of these boots. I'll have to make sure that those stay and don't. But, dude, I'm tall. I'm tall. Look at how tall I am. Let's see. What gives you the shot? There we go. These are so, oh my God, I can't even tell you what an improvement this is. This is a huge, This is a huge improvement over my previous Wookiee boots in terms of comfort. Look, everything that gives a lower threshold to me putting on a Wookiee costume is a good thing. And these boots feel fabulous. The mechanical part is done. Now it's time for the fun part, and that's the hair and aestheticizing. So, clean off my workbench, sweep up a little bit, and we'll make these feet look like Chewie's feet. Wookiee feet proceed apace. I am now about to put on the toes, and it really would be great if I had the ability to hold this up in some way. Is that? It kind of does it. Not quite enough. I want to put these back in the glue drawer anyway. Here we go. A billet of round aluminum. And a billet of round brass. Yeah, that is a chunky chunk. All right. I'm going to rise them up just a little bit. That's great. That is great. Okay, so what I'm going to do here with this is I'm going to do some hot glue around the internal, and then I'm going to do hot glue or spray glue. Actually, I'm going to do spray glue. I'm going to do high strength spray glue and then do masking tape. That's much better. Yeah, so here's how this is going to go. I'm going to mask off what I am not going to hit with the spray glue. And I'm just going to allow like an extra 1/4 of an inch around. So the spray glue kind of goes over. That'll help the tape bridge the gap. Nice. This will be great. Wookiee feet, man. What could be a better way to spend your Friday than making Wookiee feet? Having a con to take my Wookiee to, that would be nice. Boy, I miss the cons. I know, they miss me too. We gotta go. I gotta go soon. Okay, so that's 1 foot. And that's that one. And this is this one. And I feel like I can do both at the same time. Yes, I think I can. All right, so let's just make sure we're all laid in really nice.
Oh, a little bit longer. A little bit longer. Oh, I don't need to wear this anymore.
I'm done spraying. All right. I'm going to do the one I did first. This guy. And there we go. Yeah. So we got a toe hold on that. And here comes the other one. And the same exact thing. It's great. Yes. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to use a little gaffer tape here just to secure the edge. Excellent. Nice. Oh, I'm so psyched about this. I'm just covering over the front of the boots with some a slightly matte gaffer tape, just so I don't see any of the shine of the Gorilla Tape. The Gorilla Tape is way stronger, but I don't want to see any of that gloss. That will bum me out. So just dress around it. Okay, let's see what we got. This is, there's a lot more surface area to cover, that's for sure. Yeah. Actually, phenomenal. I really like that you can so clearly see the toes. That's fantastic. So I'm going to accentuate that. Right, but this is that move. And then this little marking will go over here. Yep, like that. That should cover it over nicely. Yeah, okay. Now, viewers might be wondering what I'm actually doing over here. Actually, let me bring you a little closer to the equation. Yeah, on this time lapse, I was sitting here taking the Kanekalon hair and for the reference, the primary color of my Chewbacca costume is Kanekalon M27613 Magic Gold. I don't know that Magic Gold is the actual color name, but there's the part name. And there's a bunch of that, and then there's also a bunch of this stuff. Color M44. This is this gray. Chewbacca's got a lot of gray. And what happens with the Kanekalon is when it first comes out from the store, it looks like this. It's got this very sort of short wave to it, this like that. And what you got to do is you got to run it in front of the blow dryer and heat it up, and it straightens out. And when it straightens out, it actually also, you get more of that color variance. You see more of that sort of honey gold look that really feels like Chewbacca. And, you know, I keep some hanks of Wookiee hair in case I need to make a repair. Yeah, this is the coolest thing about a reasonable Chewie costume is that it's a toss-up as is the hardest part, the mask or latch hooking the suit. The suit is, here is my Wookiee costume. And you can see it's just an open weave with, yeah, you can see the hair is latch hooked on there. Small hank. And then it's knotted to itself. It's a simple knitting move. And I think the entire bill of materials for my Chewbacca costume, aside from the mask, was like $100, like at the most. Really, all super inexpensive. But I had to make some new hair because these shoes cover more ground and I got some bald spots to take care of. So before I glue on the Kanekalon, I had to straighten it out, and that's what I was doing. Okay, back to the time lapses. All right, I'm thought I was running. I'm so sorry. I've gone and given my Wookiees I've gone and given the Wookiee a manicure, and I'm just working on dressing him up a little bit. Okay, let's get a little bit of a... Yeah, there you go. That's what you think a Wookiee foot looks like. Oh, yeah! That's the shizzle. Oh, my God. Yeah, totally. This is always the best part. Okay, so I'm just going to show you close up this Wookiee manicure that I want to do here. And it is... So first up, I want to get a little bit of... I'd like to get some gray inside the lines. So I'm going to put on some gray paint and pull it back off again. And I'm just doing a little bit of this just to kind of like... No one's looking at the feet of a Wookiee. If someone's looking at your feet, you've got a mistake. But that means that you want to be bold in the gestures on the feet. Maybe you get a little too much color there. Okay, so we've got a black up here with a gray here and a little bit of yellow in the gray, and that's fine. Now I'm going to show you. Here we go. Here comes a little umber, raw umber. And I'm just going to do a little bit around the cuticle here and then take it back off. And now I think you'll see that takes that color variance between the gray and the black and makes the whole thing work. Oh, look at that. It's filthy. Wookiees, disgusting feet on Wookiees. Just the best. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get some umber in there. Make one dirtier than the others. That's also always a good idea. Yeah. Oh my God, this is great. And also dirt gets in between the toes. Go ahead and put it in, take it back out. Put it in, take it back out. Put it in, take it back out. Now, damn, that looks cool. Yeah, okay, cool. Stop it. I'm going to water down some yellow ochre here. What is this? This is standard yellow ochre. Yeah, look at that. I actually knew it without checking. I get a little bit of wet yellow ochre here on my brush, and I'm just going to wet my brush and kind of just do a little bit there like that. Yeah, as if he stepped in something. Yeah, see that? Oh. 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 Oh, yeah. Again, if the paint job is totally terrible and you're unhappy with it, just paint the whole thing black and start again. Get a little yellow ochre on this foot because that is just an awesome treatment. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, this is so awesome. All right, let's get some in the cracks. Pull it back off. Mm-hmm. Okay, the moment of truth. It is time to put on the Wookiee feet. Let's bend down there like that. I'm gonna wear the Wookiee pants, not the Wookiee shirt, but the Wookiee pants, so that I can make sure that these cover. Yep, gotta roll up those Wookiee fur legs. Oh, wait, gotta pull out the thing and also the thing. Yeah, there we go, it is right, okay. So, inside, clips to that. That gets pulled nice and tight. Outside, it's clipped to that. All right, inside one. God, I love this tightening method. It's so nice, so easy. This is, well, it's exceeding my expectations. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Let me see what I can do here. There we go. All right, the Wookiee feet are done, but I am not, and neither is this video, because I recognize that I keep on doing videos in which, like, I don't fulfill the purpose of the thing that I'm building. And the purpose of these Wookiee feet are to be worn with a Wookiee costume. So rest assured, the next thing you're gonna see is me suiting up in a Wookiee costume so that Norm can get some good shots of it. Yeah. Dude, I am so psyched about these one-day Wookiee feet. And the Wookiee manicure. Totally. and here's your payoff. It's time for some Chewbacca cosplay, of course. Now, putting on this costume, the first couple of steps for me, at least, is one, putting in a contact lens. When I cosplay, I always put in one contact lens, not two, because they give me distance vision, and with two contact lenses in, I can't even see my phone. So I keep one in for distance, and I keep one out because I'm nearsighted. Then I put some black eye makeup on because it's really a crime if you put on this beautiful Tom Spina Chewie head without putting black eye mask on. And then we're gonna put on the rest of it. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna take off a couple things and empty my pockets, because that's definitely part, and let's head to the bathroom and do some contact lensing and makeup. Okay, so yeah, contact lens. I wore contact lenses for 5 years back when I was a teenager. Of course, because when I first got contacts, I didn't want to be a contact lens wearer. I didn't want to be a glasses wearer. But then after a few years with contact lenses, I decided, you know what? If there was an apocalypse, this would not be a very survival-oriented kind of thing to be wearing. And that is why I pulled them out of my eyes and never wore them regularly again. But once you've broken the seal and figured out how to put in your contact lenses, wait a second, which is my, yeah, right. Yeah, it's my left. All right, here we go. There's a little bit of discomfort from the finger oils. Now we put on the black eye mask. This is a Cryolan. I am not going to be too precious about this. It is a, let's see, I'm trying to find something to put the stuff on with. Yeah, I guess I could just use, we're just going to use some napkins. Very low pro here. I don't actually have, would you believe I don't have makeup sponges here in the cave? That's ridiculous. Right. It's time for the raccoon look. I always love all those shots of Peter Mayhew on set with the Chewie head off and his black eye mask on. It's always so, I don't know why, but I find it really entertaining. I guess I also look like Mads Mikkelsen from Doctor Strange. Oh. I met Mads Mikkelsen at Silicon Valley Comic Con a couple years ago. What a lovely guy. I told him he was my favorite Bond villain. Because he is. All right. I think we're good. I look totally crazy. All right. First up is the pants. I've talked about my Wookiee costume before, but everyone asks if it's super warm, and it's not, because it's all latch hooked onto netting here. It is super, super breathable. In fact, when I'm wearing this and there's like a cool breeze, wait a second, I'm holding the wrong thing. Yes. When you're wearing this and you feel a cool breeze, and I wear black leggings underneath this, it's really delightful. It's a very, very comfortable costume. And the mask gets hot, but all masks get hot. There we go. Good. Now come the feet. It's important to do the feet because once I'm wearing my arms, I get hair all in the way and it's hard to actually do it. So the feet are next. It's going to be precarious. Oh, it feels great. Such an improvement over the old feet. I can't even tell you. I mean, I wore those old Chewie feet in constant terror that I would make one wrong move and lose my ankle. But these are snowboard bindings, so the process of wearing them goes like that. Oh, right, I forgot. It's actually, yeah, it does that. Yes. really, really good. And then this one does the same thing. Wait, that's it. Yeah. Really, for securing technology, snowboard boots are amazing. I just grab this thing and, yep. And then it's important to tuck it because you don't want it hanging out there. So there's one. I know, the netting, we dyed the netting to be black and it's slowly the dye has worn away. So a future project with my Chewie suit is to somehow re-dye the netting without getting the Kanekalon hair at the same time. I'm still not sure exactly how I'm going to solve that problem, but I will. Okay, here comes the last bit of this. Yeah. Secure that in there. Okay, so. Awesome. Do, do, do. Okay, what's next? These are actually monkey gloves that I got from an ape costume. I think I bought them on Amazon, but they work perfectly as Chewie hands. They've got beautiful nails. I may do some painting on these at some point, but these are terrific. And then you'll see when I put on the shirt. Okay, so the shirt, you got to put on the shirt in a very specific way to keep the fur from getting all bunched into it. You almost have to turn it inside out. Stick your head through the middle and your hands through. Oh, 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 oh. And then let's let that one go. Yep, yep, yep. Right? Yeah. Yes, okay. And I can never, I don't know why, it's some disconnect with me with Chewie, but I always forget which shoulder. Let's see, I've written it down here. Front over left shoulder. Yep, there we go. So it's like this. Over left shoulder. Yes, there we go. That is over the left shoulder. Now we put on the head. Okay. So, before we put on the head, he's a little too neat. Chewie is. So I need to mess him up a little bit. Got to give him some unkempt hair. That's Chewie. Chewie's, he's always got bedhead. Oh, hold on, before I do this. Reach down. Put that there. Great. Right. And oh, now I have to take one of these arms off in order to tighten this. Oh, here we go. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't even tell you how solid I feel in these boots. They're fantastic. I've got some good ugly toes to go with my ugly nails. I got my new bowcaster. I think we're ready for adventure. All right, where's the ship I gotta fix? Thank you so much for watching that video. If you'd like to further support us on Tested, there are many ways you can do so. One is through paid membership, and there are several tiers of that, each with their own set of unique bonuses. You can follow the links below for that, or you can go to our merch store where we are always coming up with brand new products. In honor of the holidays, we've got our Tested Ugly sweater in both black and we have a white one. We have some brand new patches, and this is a particular type that I made a joke about one day, and now it's a reality. You know, merit badges. When you're a Cub Scout or a Boy Scout, you get a merit badge for achieving something. Well, Tested now has demerit badges for when you screw something up, because that's just as important in learning as getting something right. So this is the badge for when you measure something once and have to cut it twice.
This is the badge for when you accidentally hook up your electronics wrong and you release the mysterious blue smoke that powers them and they no longer work. And this one here is for when you get your finger caught in the lathe and it almost gets torn off. That might be quite me specific. I hope that never happens to you. These are all designed by Tested's own Jen Schachter, and they are not the only patches we're going to release. In fact, these are just the beginning. If you have ideas for demerit badges that we should release, we'd love to hear them. We also still have our regular complement of posters, and they're all back in stock, including my hand-drawn toolboxes. I love seeing pictures you guys send us of these hanging in your maker spaces and your offices, your man caves, and your sheds around the world. Get to the store, follow the links below, and hey, some of these might make great Christmas presents for the makers in your life. Thanks, you guys. Happy holidays.